Hi everybody and welcome along. Thanks for joining us today. It's Tuesday. He hasn't corrected me, so it must be Tuesday. It's another Sunday in our land. We haven't been outside. We haven't interacted with anybody. So it's strange old times, isn't it? However, so I hope you've all recovered from yesterday's, which was it's a bit frantic, wasn't it? It was a bit manic yesterday. We did cover a lot of ground and we ended up with this page, which some of you really liked, I think. And I've seen some of your versions. Honestly, it's amazing how ingenious you can be. Really is. This is our 3 pockets with the foil on. I really like that technique of sponging the size onto it, and then you get it ends up broken, not just a solid mass of foil, which I quite like. And we put our little tag on the side, so now we know we're onto this page. Hooray! So after yesterday, Mr. Green's got even fatter. Look at him. He's a nice juicy fella. Right, so I'll just set him to one side for a moment while we work out what we're going to do today. Here's the list of prompts. Every day I choose an item off this list, and we use that to guide us in the page that we're going to do. So it's getting quite filled up actually. So where is the pencil going to rest today? Oh, it's on a go slow today. Get on with it. Go, 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 go. Oh, it's really slow. No, 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 no. Yay! Music paper! It's landed at music paper. I think it's the 26th. I'm writing that anyway. It's somewhere around there. We're really getting down these. There's not that many to go. But then again, there's not that many days to go, really. We're on the 26th, so 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 30th. 5 more days to go after today. Yeah. Goodness me. Since the 20th, it's gone really quickly, hasn't it? Anyway, music paper, right. Let's just get Mr. Green out again.
Young says she'll never forget this month.
Oh, I don't think I will.
And my time in these lives. I think it has impacted me more than I even know right now. During these times, it's a bright, shining light.
Oh, Ki Young, that's lovely. That's lovely. I'm so glad, when people say that they've learned a technique or they've got something out of it in some way. It might be nothing to do with junk journaling. It might just be the community that we're in. And I'm really pleased, that I can be a part. And I am just a part, because without you, nothing's happening. So, right, music paper. So I have availed myself of some pages from my book, and I've also got some text paper. It's actually also out the music book, but it's text. It's just text. And I have also cut myself the backing paper, as I always do for the pages. So it's just going to be plain cream today, but it won't be plain cream when we're finished with it. Music book's fallen in the bin. It's had quite enough for today. I'll just pop that down there. I just want this front page to glue on, really. So what I intend to do is to make a sort of collage. You can't see that because it's against cream. Is to make a collage for the back. And I'm going to use, I've just ripped up some music paper. I just used my decal edged ruler, ripped it up. They were sort of the margins, so they're pretty whitey, creamy colour, and this was the text. And I'm just going to make a giant jigsaw, really, of them all. That's the plan. I'm going to use glue stick because I want it to dry quite quickly, and I think it'll be adequate. It's just paper onto paper, so I think we'll be all right. So that's all I'm going to do. So nothing really exciting for a while. Well, today's not going to be one of those manic days. I can't stand 2 of those back to back. I'm too old. So it doesn't matter if they're upside down, sideways on, if they go over the edge, it doesn't matter. We can tidy it all up later. So I'm just gluing, and it's a nice thing to do this. It's peaceable. Peaceable, sticking your pieces.
The doctor.
The doctor. Doctor's in the house. Excuse me. So I'm overlapping them. That kind of gets rid of the worry that you haven't stuck all the corners down, which often happens with collage. You have to go back over it and just tart it up a little bit. I'm just going to get myself a pile of that, and a pile of this, and just keep sticking. So as I say, it's going over the edge. It doesn't matter. I'll straighten that up later. It's not a problem. So there's nothing fancy going on here, guys. If if ever you were going to do a craft along or whatever, this is a good one, because you don't really need to be watching me all the time. I tell a lie when I said we hadn't been outside. That's actually not the truth. Yesterday, we do our grocery shopping now by click and collect. So we shop for it on a Sunday night online. Well, that's not true either. We shop for it online and then we look for it when we can go and collect it. And in the past, it's always just been a couple of days at the most away from when you've ordered it. But in these weird COVID times, it's now over a week from when you actually order it to when you can go and collect it. So last week we ordered our food, and then when we went to pay for it and book a delivery slot, it was actually yesterday. So that was like 10 days, I think, that we had to wait for food. And I mean, look at me. Do I look like I want to wait for food? No, but there's no way around it. You have to. So that's, that's all you can say. You have to. But yesterday was our slot, and it was 11:30 till 12. So we live quite a long way away. Our nearest supermarket is about 35 miles away, something like that. So that's where we were headed off to yesterday morning. And of course, we needed to be back in time to do the live and get prepared for the live. I had done a bit of preparation before we left. And usually when you get there, they say, oh, well, we didn't have this, so we've substituted, we didn't have steak, so we've substituted baked beans or something, it's so ridiculous. But yesterday when we got there was no substitution, so everything that we'd ordered we got, which was nice, which meant that yesterday we could actually eat what we wanted. I mean, we're not short of food. Because we live so far out, in the wintertime, I always stock up really well. Stock the pantry up with, tins, and stock the freezer up with stuff that is going to keep. So, yeah, it wasn't as if we were out of food. We're just out of fresh stuff and stuff that we particularly like. But anyway, yesterday we got everything, and we got some hummus, which is lovely. I love hummus. And we got some fancy hummus with sweet chili in it. Didn't think I was going to like it, but I did. I love it. So that's going on the shopping list for next week. Roll call.
You can do roll call if you want.
What? Oh, no. Tuesday, take 5. I didn't even remember. I'll have to do it after this. I'll do it after this.
Well, I was just explaining that we normally do a Take 5 live, but during this month it'll be a video because we're live every day. But I didn't make the connection until somebody pointed out that today was Tuesday.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's the 26th Sunday of January, isn't it?
Oh. Right, okay. Well, once I've finished this, I'll have a think. I'll have a good think, and I will get back to you as to the Take 5. Can you stand it if it's a day late, guys? Would that be all right? Seeing as I'm working really hard on this. I'll either get it out later today, excuse me, or tomorrow. No later than tomorrow. Really sorry. Really, really sorry. Just seems to be a lot to think about at the minute. So I'll see, let's hope that the fickle finger that selects the things that I use in the Take 5s comes up with something nice today, something easy. That would be good.
Anyway, roll call. Would you like a roll call?
Yeah, that's a word.
Dixie.
Hiya, Dixie.
Bernice.
Hello, Bernice.
Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Janya.
Hello, Janya.
Jean.
Hiya, Jean.
Jen.
Hello, Jen.
Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
Kyung.
Hi, Kyung.
Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Maureen.
Hello, Maureen.
Miranda.
Hi, Miranda.
Ros.
Hi, Roz.
Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Vicky.
Hiya, Vicky.
Think that's your lot.
Blimey, that's nice of everybody to join us today, and me to have let you down. Oh, dear me. Sorry about that, guys. I really am. I don't know what I was thinking that I didn't think about it, but I didn't. So that'll give you an excuse to catch up with this a little bit.
Donna, me, Miss Donna.
Yeah, you didn't say Donna. So music paper.
Tony.
Hiya, Tony. Glad you got your whack whack. Join the whack whack club.
Violet.
Hiya, Violet.
I only know you if you've already chatted. You don't chat, I don't know you're there.
Get chatting. I'll put that that way.
Jean.
You said Jean, but nice to see you, Jean. I hope you're feeling okay. And put the cream side of that down.
And Dixie wants to know why we make her a pirate.
I don't.
Well, it's just how it comes out. Dixie.
It's what I live with. Sorry, Dixie. I'll have words with him afterwards. I'll try and teach him how to speak. That just fits there. Because I've used this page so much, it's really, really gluey and it's difficult to get the bits up. I could turn the page, of course. So the music paper is definitely involved in here. There's definitely music paper, but it's not exclusively music paper because that would have just been too much. Too much for me.
Jen says, what? How are you letting us down?
Well,
Be
no.
here every day. A delayed or skipping a Take 5 would be fine.
Who said that, Jen?
Jen.
Oh, thanks, Jen. I honestly didn't remember it. That's the weird thing. You know, normally I have a list, a sort of to-do list, not written down. I'm not that organised, but in my head. And that wasn't even in my head.
Well, there's a lot of room for it to get lost.
Yeah, you're trying to say I've got a big head.
Or a lot of empty space, one or the other.
A lot of empty space I'll go for. It's coming on quite nicely, actually. It looks quite nice. Quite like it. I do like collages in general. And I was watching Tanya the other day from Tatty Treasures, and she was doing franking pages. If you haven't seen that video, it's an interesting video, and it's a really good base for so many things that we do.
Even says she likes the mix of music and book paper.
Yeah, I do, Kyung. It's quite nice, isn't it? There's just a couple of sheets of music, and actually it was just one sheet of text. And I did tear them with my deco ruler because I think they'd just look a bit flat if they were square. completely square, I mean. Oops. Doesn't matter because it's going over the side anyway. So we're nearly there. We've got a candle burning today. It's lovely. It's a Yankee candle. It's really nice. So it's made the whole room smell gorgeous, which I like very much. I think in a previous life I've probably been a bloodhound because I've got a really acute sense of smell, haven't I, Mr. F?
Yes.
Which is a bit worrying when you're driving along and, you know, say things like, oh, can you smell that? What?
I mean, living with me, it can be a blessing and a curse.
That's true. But I can't help it. It's just something obviously I was born with. I just have this really acute sense of smell. And given that losing a sense of smell is one of the things to watch out for with COVID, I think I'd know if I had that particular symptom. Right, so there we are. We've covered that. Nice. Didn't have too much left over, did we?
You've got to cute several things.
Oh, you're trying to worm your way into my good books.
And off the step.
And off the step. Right, so that's that then. We don't need the music book anymore for the moment. I'm just going to cut around here, smarten him up a little bit. Ink around it, then I'm going to sew around it. Honestly, I've got a mark to cut by and I still can't cut by it. I'm way into the card now. So yeah, this is much more sedate than yesterday. Let me just check that I haven't trimmed too much off it. If I have, I'm going to scream. I think it'll be all right anyway. I want the doctor up there. I like the doctor. Oh no, it's all right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so I'm going to ink around it, and I'm going to use not that one. I've put away the one I want to use. Oh, maybe I haven't. Oh, that must be it there. Yes, Victorian Velvet. I love this colour. I really do. I think if you're using this as a page in a journal, you might want to go over the whole thing with something like matte medium or you know, Mod Podge, if that's what you use. This is going in Mr. Green, and he's just for ideas really. So I don't want to put a load of sealant on it and then have to wait for that to dry. You know, it's alive. We need to keep it moving along a little bit. I mean, it should be all right anyway because we've glued everything down. And if you see any bit lifting, just glue it. Right, so that's that. It's inked around the edge. I'm going to sew around it. I've still got that really bright, this colour thread in it, but I think that'll be all right with what we're going to add. So I'll just take this to the sewing machine.
Kathleen wants to know if you need a special needle.
No, just an ordinary universal needle. You know, not a leather one or embroidery or anything like that. Just an ordinary universal will do fine. I'm stopping there because what I forgot, it's going to have a pocket along the bottom. So I don't need to sew that bit yet. It'll get sewn later on. So I remembered halfway around, so I've just stopped there. I put a lock stitch on my first and last stitches. If you haven't got the lock stitch facility, just put a little bit of glue on the back of both and just work it into the threads, and that way then it'll secure the threads.
So it's just a universal needle.
Universal needle. These are the ones I use, Schmetz, and I buy them like this. I don't.
There's 100 in there, is there?
These are called 130 or 80, and I use the 80 part. I don't know in the States whether you use it as 130. I'm not sure, but these are 80s, and they're quite sort of. You don't need to buy 100 at a time. I buy 100 because I get through them. And the 80 is quite fine. It's quite a fine needle. The one that I also use are these ones, which are, they're also 80s. That's a full packet. No, look, here's some here. Universal machine needles, 5 needles in the pack. Universal, that's what it needs to say. Universal, and then you're fine. You know, the point's not too sharp, not too blunt, blah blah. So these are size 90 as opposed to these that are size 80, and the size 80s are finer than the 90s. 80s are good for sewing paper. They don't make too big a hole on the back when you're sewing.
I think they're size 12 as well, aren't they? Sometimes they call them size 12 and 14.
Do they? Right, let's crack on with this then. Right, I'm going to make some tags. That's our back pretty much done, really. You could sew into it if you want, put lines along it, etc, etc, but I'm not going to for this. I'm going to make some tags, and I'm going to make them out of this cream. It's about 120, something like that, 140 maybe. Now, this is one of my tags that I have always made. It's a template, and it's 4.5 inches tall by 2.5. The 2.5 is fine because I want to put 3. I want to put 3 tags in along here. 1, 2, 3. And given that Mr. Green measures 9, 2.5 is about right because that comes to 7.5. So that'll give us a little bit leeway each side of the tag in the pocket. But I do want it, come back Mr. Green, sorry, got rid of you too soon. I do want it a bit taller than that. That's sitting very far down. So I'd like it to be maybe even another inch onto the bottom. So what I'm going to do, excuse me, is draw a line 1 inch up from the bottom all the way along. Back to front here. And then I can place my templates on it and they'll be magically becoming 1 inch higher. So if now I place that on there, instead of being 4.5, it's going to be 5.5 because it's got this inch here, if you get my gist. So I'm just going to draw around those, around these all. And they should all be fine. I can't get that to match up. I mean, I don't know why that always happens, but it does. I guess it's the thickness of the pencil and stuff. So I'm just moving it away a little bit. And again, make sure you've got it square on the bottom. So I'm just going to put that inside the lines that I've already got and just extend it down so I know where I'm cutting. You could do it with a ruler, whatever. However you do it, will be fine. Apart from that one. Right, so let's cut these out. Oh, I'm being quiet today. So this is a lovely creamy colour. It's by Ray. The people are R-E-Y, and it's called Adagio. And it's really nice paper. It prints really nicely as well. And they had an offer on if you bought 3 reams of it, you got it cheaper. So I bought 3 reams of it. Where are we going to keep it? Oh dear. I need another house just to keep my stuff in. Right, so I've kind of finished with that, I think, for the time being. Now then, what I'm going to do with these is just use music paper, because that is the prompt. So we want to be using it, you know, as much as we can, really. So I'm going to use it the right way up, that way up, and just cover the tag. That's all I'm going to do. I can only get 1 tag out of this, so. What you doing, mister?
You might have shown this thing that I found at the charity shop a while back.
What is it?
It's a ruler for drawing musical staves.
Oh yeah. It's got a bit of glue on there, but it'll roll up and come off when it's dry. I'm trying to do that. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I'll show them that now. I'm sorry, I'm terribly shaky today. I don't know why. I've taken my anti-shaking tablets. Right, so there we are. There's one of our tags done. Yep, here then. This is something Mr. F found. It's bought it at a charity shop. I don't even know how it works.
Well, you just put a pen, like on the back of the thing, you just put a pen in the holes.
Right, let's see how it works. I'll put this on here. Use a pencil. next hole down, next hole down, next hole down, next hole down, and bring it back to there. Then you can draw a clef on it if you want to. There we are. Draw your own stave for your own music paper. It's quite clever, isn't it? So there we are. That's another bounteous thing that Mr. F has brought me from the charity shop.
When
Amazing.
You're into your composing.
Yeah, when I'm into my composing.
What spare time you have.
I do want the music book back because I want another piece of music for this.
Opus number 3.
Is that big enough? Not really. I'm into the title of it. Let's try this piece. Oh, is that big enough? Yay! Right, I'm just going to use this as the scrap to glue on. I'll glue the side that's got the line on it, and then it won't see the light of day ever again.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn! There we are, that's that one down, and I've just got the one more to go. Oh, there's your stave stuff. This is going to get sticky on both sides now. Terrible. Oh, look at that. Okay, wipe it where I normally wipe it on my trousers. So I'm just using the music to square this up really, and that's about it. All that glue will just rub off when it's dry. Don't try and rub it off when it's wet because you get sort of the sweat from your fingers and it makes it go mucky, and then of course you can never get it off, so just leave it till it's dry. I think I've just cut the bottom off that one, but you know. It's fairly typical. Yeah. Oh.
The music on the back of those pages you used, though.
Oh, no, I've got text. Oh well, there you go. I've got 2 text and 1 music. That wasn't what I'd sort of planned, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. We have used music paper in one of them. So you can increasingly like the take 5's going to be tomorrow, guys.
The lyrics or something on the back, I think.
Yeah, the sort of verses, the following on verses of the music that's at the top of the page.
Music related.
It's music related, yeah. So I'm going to ink around here, which will sort of bring it in line with the page itself. Oh, what a silly thing to do, eh? So what happens when you don't concentrate?
Flo says hi.
Hiya, Flo. Nice to have you with us when you've got so much going on. Right, so there we are. There's our 3 not musical tags. Now, in preparation for this, I cut some papers out and I'm going to sew them. I'm going to stick them and then I'm going to sew around them. I've already sewn around these, as maybe you can see on the background there. And I'm just going to attach them over to the left-hand side. And I'm thinking it's a good time now to introduce some music paper to these. I could just put a little sliver of music paper behind them.
Jean says she votes we don't do a take 5 this week.
Oh, Jean, thank you. Yeah. Is everybody else all right with that?
Well, Rose seconds it.
Oh, right.
And Carol says she's with Jean.
Well, thank you, guys. Just for this week, I won't do a take 5. I think that looks all right. They look all right behind there, and they've sort of musiced it up a bit. They've musiced it up. So I'm just going to stick that down there because I think that's fine. It's slightly cheaty, but gets us where we want to be. So that will go there and that will go there. Yeah, that's nice. And stick this one down as well. Kind of makes the whole thing look like music paper, to be honest.
Deceives the eye.
Yeah, it does deceive the eye. Put this one up here. Right. So still going over to the left. Right, okay. So I want to glue these on and then sew around the entire tag. So I just want to make a mark where I'm putting these so I'll get them all at the same height. So if I put that at 2 inches, is that about right? If I put it at 2.5, too high. 2 1/4, let's try that. No, I think I like it at 2. Yeah, I like it there. So I'm just going to put a little mark there so I know where to glue it to. And same on all of them, at 2 inches up from the bottom, and then they'll all be the same. I was going to make this one today. I was going to use the word prompt, the prompt tag, because it is kind of all about tags. But it is also about music paper, so I'm all right. I'm all right with the fact I've chosen music paper. So let's just stick these down, not really so much around the edge, because this happens. Glue stick gets caught in your stitches, and then when you go to sew it on the machine, it's all cloggy on your machine, and you don't want that. This paper is from Antique Papery, and it's called Bella. Oh, I'm going to sew around it, that's why it's not sticking yet. It's called Bella Beatrice, and it's absolutely beautiful. I was lucky enough to have, honestly, one of the best presents ever. Hang on, I'll stick this down and I'll tell you about it. Kerry Betts, who's Australian, you know Kerry, she pops along in the group sometimes even manages a live or two. She sent me a message which included a link that she'd purchased from Sherry Mitchell at Antique Papery, and what it is a lifetime membership to all of Sherry's kits. Every single one that there's ever been, that she's ever made, from when she first started till now, and then this year's included, and then next year there'll be another link for that for the next year. So I will have access to absolutely everything that Sherry has ever done. And those of you that follow me regularly know that I really love Antique Papery. I'm always telling you when this, that and the other about them. They're great. I love their style. It just suits me. So what a fabulous present. And I can't thank her enough. Thank you, Kerry, so much.
She does sometimes join us, but it's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Right, so, oh, that's not right. I did want to stick them down completely. Oh, I'm not concentrating today, am I? I've already sewn around them. This is all going hideously badly. Good job it wasn't yesterday when there was so many balls in the air. Yeah, I've already sewn around those, so I don't need to sew around them again. Can I pick that up? No, can I heck? I'll have to use aliens or something to get in there. Really sorry about this, guys. Just tune out and go and sit and watch the telly or something. They'll be fine, they'll stick fine. If they don't, I'll just come back in again with some more aliens and stick them down a bit more. But they will be alright. It is only paper, and it is only sticking to paper, so I'm not asking too much of it really. Right, so what I'm going to do now is sew around the entire tag. So off I go to the sewing machine. Goodbye. Hello. I think these are sticking actually. No reason why they wouldn't. Last one, guys.
Hi Lorna.
Hi, Alona.
Bet she's still in bed.
Yeah. Question whether she's even found her glasses yet. Okay, so that's our 3 tags sewn around, and they look quite nice. I'm quite glad actually that I left that bright cerise thread in there. It looks nice. It shows up, you know, whereas I think the lighter pink that I was thinking of, or the cream, would have just been lost really. Let's put our music paper away. That didn't do us any good in the long run. Right, there we go. So now what we've got to do is put these onto our page. Well, make a pocket for them on our page, is what I should say. They look sweet, don't they? So, sort of one there, one in the centre, one down this bit here, like that. So, what I have done is I have cut out a piece from the Bella Beatrice, the same page actually as that, to make a pocket, but I'm going to mount it onto cream because there won't be a gap between that and that, and I think it'll be visually more pleasing if we've got a cream border. So that's my next trick. Sorry, could you pass me a piece of this?
Adagio.
Adagio, yeah. No, hang on. Oh, I'm all right. I'll do it over the stave. Yeah, that's fine.
It'll stave off using another piece.
It'll stave it off, won't it? So this is exactly the right length. So I just want to cut this at the same length. There. It doesn't matter that that's there because you won't see it.
Let's see if you're being crotchety.
I'm not crotchety, I'm just really shaky and I don't really know why. So waist not, want not. So do I want this the whole height of that? Yeah, well, I've got a little nick there in it, so I'm thinking that I should probably cut that nick off. So it'll only come back to haunt us, won't it? So how far down does that go? Goes to there. So that's, oh, I keep picking this up the wrong way around. It's just over 2.5. A hair's breadth over 2.5. So let's do that. There we go. Right. So that's going to get stuck onto there, or sewn on, more likely. This is going to go here, leaving a nice little cream border at the top.
Jean's off for therapy.
Oh, thanks so much for joining us, Jean. I always like it when I know you're there. Don't work too hard. And then the question is, should I or should I not add my favourite flat back pearls? I mean, come on, why would you not add them? They're so pretty. Yeah, that is going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So I'm going to stick this onto here, and I'm going to use Aleene's because I don't want to get it all in the stitches, the stick glue stick even. Right, let's get this stuck on here. Further to the bottom than the top, but it doesn't really matter because there's no bottom or top to the design anyway, so that's it there. Lovely. Get that all pressed down. Now then, let's think about sewing it, and do I want to sew it or not? I've got quite a lot of sewing here as is, but I wouldn't mind sewing in between the pockets just for a bit of added strength, a bit of security. So I need to divide it into 3. So let's get a ruler on the job. It measures 8 1/4. So what's 8 1/4 divided by 3?
Well, if you said you wanted to leave 3/4 of an inch to attach it either side, that'd leave you 7 1/2, which would make them 2 1/2, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't want that though.
No.
I
hear you, but no.
I hear you, but no. So 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. So it's nearly 3, isn't it? What's 2 3/4 plus 2 3/4? 5 1/2, and 2 3/4. 6, 7, 8 1/4. So it must be 2 7/8. It must be 2 7/8. I'll try that and see what happens. 2 7/8. 2 7/8 leaves 2 7/8. The girl's only a genius.
It's true. Only
a genius. So what I want to do then is just sew up from the bottom where those marks are. Now I want to make it relatively straight because it always looks better if it's straight. So I'm going to actually put a... Have you got a Frixian to your name? Thank you. I'm just going to put a Frixian line in there for me to follow with the sewing, because as you know, Frixian rubs off in the heat. It magically disappears. So there we are. Right. I don't want to sew any more down here because I've already sewn that this, which is not a fabric. So I think I'll glue the sides on first. Well, I would if the glue wanted to come out. Yeah, the glue wasn't coming out, but it is now. There we go. So I want the doctor at the top, and this is the bit I haven't sewn around on the background, so we're doing all right. We're okay. No need to panic yet. So they can be drying in place while I sew up here. Right. I want my needle in the middle. And we'll just make a start. Right, let's have a look then. Wow, that's pretty close on the line. That's good, because I would have felt right, Charlie, if I'd been 100 miles away. I think this is a nice sort of page to add to a journal, actually. It's kind of restful, but it's got lots of interest too. Right, so what am I going to do? Am I actually going to stick my pearls along there? I can see no reason why I wouldn't want to do that. The only other thing that I was thinking was, I've got this die. I used it yesterday for the flowers in the boho one. And it cuts them all out like this, different sizes. So I was wondering if I took these two see if I can get that one out. That one. I've cut them out in a very, very pale pink, which may or may not be suitable. I was just wondering if I put them like that, inked around them, and put that just on that corner, if that would look nice or nasty. I'm still undecided. I'm going to ink around them and then see what I think. Just the ends of the petals, just to make it, give it a bit more interest. Around here as well. Like I say, just the ends. So yeah, if I was to put that there, put that on top, so I've got sort of layered flower, and then use one of these that I got this string from BB Craft, do you remember? And just use one of those in the centre, and that, which would then pick up the pearls along there. Oh heck, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it. Just going to do it. I just want to try and see if I can get some sort of dimension into this. So I've got it wrong side facing me, and I'm just using the end of my pokey tool just to see if I can get a little bit of dimension in that. I think if you did it on foam, you might get more. I don't know. Let's try it. Never tried this before, ever. On foam, anyway. Oh, look, yeah, it's all curling up. Oh, look at that. Who knew? So this is, should I do that facing up? Yeah, I'll do this way. Probably doesn't want a lot. That's magical, isn't it? That's quite magical, come on. Right, so now when I put that down, it's just going to go. I probably need to do it the other way. I thought it might retain some of its shaping, but nah. So I'll try it that way. Glue that down. It's like a flying saucer. Oh dear. It's quite funny though, isn't it? You've got to try things. If you don't try things, how do you know? So I'm just going to put glue in the centre, hoping that the petals will still retain some 3D-ness. Is that even an expression? I don't know. Yeah, I think they might. And a little bit in the middle of this.
Lift them back up with your pokey.
Yeah, I think that's what to do. They should have a memory now, at least, of being. I think maybe what you could do better than that would be to sort of roll them on your pokey. Like that, just to give them a bit of, I don't know, needs work, all right. I'll try it out before I pass it by you again. But that has definitely got some dimension, definitely, for good or ill. So I'm going to use one of these little resin roses, of which I have, oh, I don't know, I'd a guess 10 million. I ordered a roll of them from BB Craft. I wasn't really expecting quite that many. I think that looks nice in the middle. I quite like that. I'm actually going to use my E6000 because, as I say, it's resin, so it meets the criteria for using E6000. i.e. it's hard and it's not porous. And it's got a sort of lip around the back, so I'm filling it up. So there we are. That's that. I don't know that it made any difference actually giving them some dimensionality, but it can't have done any harm. really. So I'm going to put my pearls on now along the top, and I'm going to use E6000 for that as well, as I usually do. Just on that, just on the edge where the floral meets the cream. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? I think that you need pages like this in a journal, and that's not just an excuse for taking the easy way out today. I don't think you can have every page being full on. It would be exhausting for the person trying to use it. So just place them down and push them up to the edge of that paper.
Well, it's like fancy dining, isn't it? Sometimes you just need a beef burger.
I think that's true, actually. I wouldn't mind getting tired of fancy dining.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you're a very good cook, and thank you very much indeed for looking after me. But wouldn't it be nice one night just to go out and have somebody else do it? I mean, I have somebody else do it every night, but for you. Right, so there we...
on the washing up, I suppose.
I do my share of washing up. I do.
Yeah.
But I don't do any share of cooking. Right, so let's... Shall we stick this into the book? Are we finished with it now? I think so. There is the date to go on, which I usually put on last, but seeing as I've got it in this position... is it the 26th? Is it the 26th?
Yes.
So I've got these numbers that you might remember from a die. They're rather large, but I think they're okay. 26, that way up.
Do we have a stamp that had some music on it, or am I making that up?
Possibly, but I wouldn't know where it is. Or I've got the craft paper ones, but they don't look right. Save them for another day. 29th possibly. I might just... I was going to ink round them, but I think I want them looking quite stark, so I'm going to leave them looking stark. Of course, you can just write yours on, you can type it on the computer and print it out. Whatever floats your boat. It's amazing, that just fits perfectly in between the stitching. Amazing. Yeah, 26, there we go. No doubt in that, is there, loud and proud? Right, so the next thing to do then, I reckon, is stick this into Mr. Green. Come along, dear. Let's just move all my stuff out the way. Of course, it's getting increasingly difficult to stick anything in Mr. Green. I don't think I can fold that back out the way, can I? Maybe. This is the right page, isn't it? Yeah. Let's give that a try and see if that's any easier. I'm going to use Collall, which is what I normally use. Mr. F has found another Mr. Green, a Mr. Green woodworking book. The problem is that the copies that he's found are from 71 onwards, and I'm worried that in 71 the paper wasn't this gorgeous paper that we've got in our own Mr. Green now. You know, it'll be some sort of fancy paper that I don't want. So he's going to keep his eyes open and see if he can find a Mr. Green, an earlier edition, but the woodworking one. And then if it doesn't come in for anything else, it'll come in for either December daily or January daily or whatever we decide to do daily in the future.
It's coming when we need some new furniture.
Yeah, you can build it. Okay, so that's him there. Let's go around the edge. Pay special attention to where you've got stitching, because for some reason it's always that bit that doesn't like to stick down. Got one stuck to my finger. Right. Could you pass me some pink ribbon or trim or something? Something pink. I'm going to have to put some tags. So that's our full music one. So that goes in there. Like that. This goes in there. That's lovely, thank you. And this goes in there. That's it. So there we are. That's pretty much it. We just need the ribbon on the top, and then the job's actually a good one. So let's just mark the top. The last time I did this, I was like a mile off centre. Nobody said anything, but I was. Thankfully, it's just a book, an ideas book. Do you think, do any of you actually think you would use it as an ideas book? You know, when you're making a journal or a folio or something, you go to it and think, oh yes, I like that one. I might have to put that in my journal. Right. Let's just a little notch backwards. This is just so I can get them all at the same distance away. Now one notch further forward. There we go. Okay, and we'll put a eyelet in there. I've got the big wide pink ones, but I don't really want to use those for these. They're too delicate. So let's see what else we've got that we could use. I've got bright pink. That would do, because the sewing's bright pink. So I'll use that. I've got white as well, but that's not right because I've used cream. There's 2 pinks, 3 pinks. I've also got those little heart ones. No, I use what I've got out. So put that on to set. Lovely. Whoa. I don't think you have to press this hard, really. I just do. I don't know why. Right, so just a little bit of ribbon through them. Tie them in a bow. Probably do a darker ribbon in an ideal world, but this will give us the idea. Got a bit of a lopsided business going on here. There's no way in the world that's right. Right, I'll call that a day at that because it's it's beyond me today. Let's make those smaller, says she. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to cut it at that. Cut that one off at a diagonal as well. Oops. There, so you get the idea. You get the gist. Okay, so that's the music one, so that goes in the centre. Oh, I haven't glued along the bottom. Oh well, there you go. It's a job for after. That one goes down there. I thought I was going to stitch it, didn't I say that, and then I didn't glue it either. Right, so there we are. I'm calling it at that. You get the gist of what's going on. They will also have a fastening of some sort on the top. I'm going to glue on the bottom of here. I don't know how I managed to miss that, but you know, these things happen. So there we are. We've got this 26th of January in Mr. Green. I know it's not earth-shattering. I'm aware of that, but I do really like it. It's pretty, it's feminine. It uses music paper, which was the brief. And it's nice. I like it. I think if you were flipping through a journal and you came to a page that looked like this, I don't think you would go, oh, I've been shortchanged. I think you would enjoy it. And it's got journaling on the back of each of those tags. So, you know, it would go in a journal. So thank you very, very much indeed. Thanks for letting me skip off the take 5. Put it there and you can see it a bit better. Yeah, for letting me skip off the take 5 this week. There's just so much going on. I know it doesn't look like it when you see me faffing around, but there is actually quite a lot of prep that goes into getting these dailies up and running. So thank you very much. I shall see you again tomorrow at exactly the same time when it will be the 27th of January. Really making progress. I've enjoyed your company. Thanks ever such a lot. Do take care. Stay safe and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, be safe, take care, be happy, see you tomorrow, bye.